We have what's called our Prairie Science class, and that is a really unique partnership that we have with the city of Fergus Falls and our park national park system, and then also with our local co-op that supports public education. But our 4th and 5th graders have an opportunity it's self-selective. They can go out and they spend half of their day out at the Prairie Science Center, and it's all experiential learning based on ecology and environmental science and stewardship, those kinds of things.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and my special guest today is Jeff Drake. Jeff is the superintendent at Fergus Falls Public Schools in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Jeff, thanks for being here today.
It's a pleasure, Janet. Thanks for having me on.
So tell me what is happening in Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
Yeah, so we're off to a great start this school year. And we have had just kind of a wonderful journey. This is the start of my 7th year serving the district and the community. And one of the things that I really wanted to share with your listeners was our experience purchasing a former Target store and converting it into a preschool and kindergarten space, as well as we leased part of it out for daycare.
Wow. So how did that come about?
Well, we were renting a space in a building that needed a lot of work. We had temporary walls up for our classrooms for preschool, and we were talking to the owner about what it would cost to kind of do a joint effort in renovating that space to make it more appropriate. And along this time, this was a kind of a difficult thing for our community, but we lost our beloved Target store. Corporate office decided that it made more economic sense to close that location. And so that building, Janet, had been sitting vacant for a couple of years. It was on the market.
Okay.
But when the district looked at the cost of renovating this other space that we had been running our preschool services out of versus the cost of purchasing the Target building, it just made more sense to go down that avenue.
Gotcha. Okay. So did you have to go to bond for that?
Well, we did some interesting pieces. We didn't bond for it in the traditional sense of a voter-approved bond. We lease levied the part of the payments. So essentially what we did is took out a loan on the property, and then we used lease levy dollars to make our part of our loan payments. And then with the unique relationship that we had leasing out a portion of the space to a nonprofit childcare center, that also helped build the revenues for us to make our payments on our loan. So it was kind of an interesting way to finance the purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. Leveraging is we're learning. I'm learning a little bit about real estate. I'm kind of dipping my toe a little bit in it right now. Not anything that I ever thought I'd do, but it's all about leverage. They talk about leverage and so I get it. Yeah. Yeah. So how long did it take you? So you get this Target building. What's next?
Yeah, so we ended up in 2 phases, and then we're going to have a phase 3 coming up, which will be a little bit different, but still very exciting. So phase 1 of the project was to take this mercantile building and convert it into an educational space. And we learned a lot of lessons along the way, Janet. That is not simple to do.
I bet not.
The stricter building codes for an educational facility. But we took that, and phase 1 took us a little over a year to complete. But when we opened it up for occupancy for our preschool program, we had about half of the 89,000 square feet finished. When I first walked, I'll never forget this. When I first walked into the former Target building, Target store, it was completely cavernous. So there were a couple of
a big shell, right?
Yeah, it's no shelves. Everything was gone except for a couple of the iconic red shopping carts.
Well, how funny.
Yeah, and so it's completely vacant and an enormous kind of tabula rasa. So what are you going to do with this space? And we were working with a local architect and working with Children's Corner is our leasing partner to design spaces specifically to meet our preschool needs, but also to meet their needs as well.
Wow. So, more bathrooms, I'm assuming, more rooms, walls,
Yeah,
HVAC, all the
no, you've got
mechanical.
it. Yeah. So updating the mechanical systems, all new mechanical systems. In phase 2, which I'll talk about in a minute or so, we put a new roof on the facility, repainted the exterior to kind of brand it with our own otter theme.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah.
right, every classroom then needed its own bathroom facilities, especially serving that young age group. And so there was a lot of infrastructure changes that needed to be done.
Wow. So that took about a year to get that done. And then you said you got you did half of the building. And then what did you do with, I'm assuming phase 2 was the second half? I'm
Phase 2
guessing.
was the second half. So
Okay.
phase 1, we put on the south end of that building our preschool and children's corner spaces. And then we occupied that for a couple years before moving
Okay.
on to
Oh,
phase 2.
okay.
And so with phase 2, um, we worked to design the north half of that building to house our kindergarten. And this is what really ended up working out so well for us, Karen or Janet, is that when we finished that project, the special ed support staff, we had enough space for them to come in there as well. And so we have a single facility that is specifically designed and tailored to early childhood needs, our youngest learners. And then we also have the professionals with those support skills and expertise so that we can dive right in when a student might be starting out struggling and do that early
Mhm.
intervention to help get them right back on track.
So like your MTSS or RTI or whatever is
Yep.
right there. Yeah. Yeah. Multi-tiered system of support and response to intervention for those of you that are listening and don't know those letters, because
Yeah.
we love our letters, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do.
So when did that one open? When did that piece open then?
So last year was our first year of housing kindergarten in Lincoln School.
Okay.
And
So
we
it's
did,
now called Lincoln School. Is that what
it's called Lincoln
okay.
School. Yep.
Gotcha.
All of our schools are named after former presidents, and
Oh, neat. Love that.
Lincoln School had been in existence before. We no longer had that building, and so it was brought back to life. It's the
Nice.
new second iteration of Lincoln School and Fergus Falls Public Schools.
So how many schools do you guys have?
So we have 7 sites.
Okay.
We have 3 elementary school buildings that are serving our younger children. Then we have one that's serving 4th and 5th grade. And then we have our middle school and high school combined. But just down the street from that campus is Roosevelt School, and that houses our ALC, Alternative Learning Center, community ed. It houses most of our high school vocational programming. So we have an auto shop, woods, metals,
Oh, nice.
ag, CNA.
Mm-hmm.
And
What is
so
CNA? I don't know that one. What's CNA?
certified nurse assistant.
Ah, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
CNAs. Okay, yeah, it's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And so that's, and then we have a really neat program, which will be a nice segue into phase 3 of Lincoln School. We have what's called our Prairie Science class. And that is a really unique partnership that we have with the city of Fergus Falls, and our National Park system, and then also with our local co-op that supports public education. But our 4th and 5th graders have an opportunity it's self-selective. They can go out and they spend half of their day out at the Prairie Science Center, and it's all experiential learning based on ecology and environmental science and stewardship, those kinds of things. So, yeah, no, it's a little bit confusing. So, the segue to Lincoln School is that when the district purchased the former Target store, it also purchased 8 contiguous acres of farmland, essentially.
Okay, gotcha.
And so, yeah,
Beautiful.
and so part of that property ended up being a formal playground and then additional green space for the kids to just run around in. But
Mm-hmm.
through the generous sponsorship of some grants, after the soybeans are harvested this fall, we are going to restore the remaining 7.5 acres to natural prairie. And it'll take 3 years to reach its maturation, but we
Okay.
will have walking trails and learning stations out there as a
Neat.
natural outdoor extension of our classroom.
Very cool. That will be very cool. Yeah. And the nice thing is as you let it go to back to natural, but you can be very strategic about where you put things and have paths. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Wow.
Yeah, we're
Your
excited about it.
community, yeah, your community is lucky to have you. A visionary. So cool that you're doing that with your students and wow, I'm just so impressed for you, your team. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we're thrilled about it, and it's going to be a nice legacy for our community over the
Hmm.
long haul. And um,
Yeah. Wow.
it's the other thing I'll say too, Janet, is just that you probably talked to other guests on your show about some of the struggles our students are having with anxiety and depression and those
Oh
kinds
yeah.
of things,
For
and
sure.
the prevalence of electronics and everything in their lives. And it's just a fast pace. And one of the things about environmental education is that we have a philosophy of getting in the moment. So when we bring kids outside, there's a period of time when there's just a stillness and a self-centering, just being aware of your surroundings and the warmth of the sun and the birds that you hear and the wind or the breeze. And to be able to just connect with your surroundings and leave kind of this hustle bustle, chaotic electronic world for a while, I think is really, really healthy for kids.
Occupational therapy shouldn't be one more thing on your plate. It should be a solution. Lighthouse Therapy offers school-based occupational therapy services that actually work for you and your staff. Our OTs have an average of 16 years of experience in schools, and they support everything from handwriting to fine motor to sensory integration. And you can choose from 3 different service models, whether it be virtual, hybrid, or in person. It's OT that fits your workflow without the chaos. Visit lighthouse-therapy.com/brighter together to learn more. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's such a great thing. And kids, we don't do that enough. As you were saying that, I was thinking about my backyard because we live on the water, and it is one of the most beautiful things to just go out there and sit and just it's kind of my calming place. It's a busy life. Yeah, I work from home, so we have a porch upstairs that I use sometimes in the mornings, and then we have a deck because we're on the water, and I just go out there and have my tea. I don't drink coffee anymore. Coffee gives me heartburn, so I went to tea. And every once in a while, I'll get out there, or in the middle of the day. It's busy, and I like the heat because we live in South Texas in Corpus Christi, and my husband doesn't. So I get cold in the house in the middle of the hot summer. So I go outside and I soak up that sun. I get that vitamin D, and that's a beautiful thing and to teach kids to do that is awesome. Really such a great thing. Yeah.
We've had students that have moved on from our district, and we had one student as a senior in the spring of her senior year. She's in another school. She's been gone from our school for 5 years, let's say. And she had an assignment to write about some impactful experience she had in education. And she wrote her essay on the impact of that prairie science class when she was a fifth grader and how it continues to frame how she looks at the world. And she looks around and she can identify the bug on the leaf or, the bird in the air. And really, the power of it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are the moments that we as educators, we continue to do what we do and do it well. And, the impact that you as an educator and your team is having is world changing. We don't always even realize the impact we're having. Those small moments that stay with people, teachable moments, if you will. I think there are teachable moments that happen all the time, and we just are busy doing the teachable moments, and yet the impact that we have on kids it's profound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminds
very
me of a story that I heard. And there was a principal that would stand and greet his students as they came into the school every morning. He'd say hi and, have a great day. And there was one young lady that he would reach out to and greet every single day and never got a response back from her. So months go by. One day, Janet, he decides, I haven't touched this one. I'm just not going to say anything today. And so as she passes by, she turns around and said, "You're not going to say hi to me this morning?" So even though you didn't get any, you know, acknowledgement that you were making an
right.
impact with the student, you still were. And I
Yeah,
think that's really, really an important thing to recognize about the work that we do.
yeah, yeah. Because it's all about paying it forward, isn't it? We are paying it forward to the future generation and teaching and loving on them and showing them that people care. So many things. Schools do so many things for this generation that we're bringing up, and it's generation after generation after generation. But this is our generation. This is our time to serve these kids, and the fight that we're in to make sure that we continue to do that, and in a world that is turning itself on its head every single day. Every single day there's something new. It's so fast paced and so, AI and phones and social media and take your pick. And to be able to know that we're making that difference is, you can't, it's immeasurable. It really is immeasurable, you know.
It's what makes the work so rewarding.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So if you're considering education and you're listening to this, it's a hard work, but it is a beautiful work. It is an absolute beautiful work. One of the things I'm a CEO now, and I've been a speech therapist for 31 years now. And one of the absolute hardest things for me to do was give up seeing kids because I am the CEO and it is my company. And so I think it's been 3 years now. When we started, I was the SLP. I was like, it was my company. I started, I'm an SLP. Our mission is to be a therapy company run by therapists for therapists for the betterment of students. We always put students in the center of absolutely everything we do. But I'm the speech therapist. I'm the one that started it. I'm the one who was seeing those first, 48 kids or whatever it was that we had that year. And as we grew, we added staff. And I always tell people when you're entrepreneur, it's like juggling plates, spinning plates, and the one that's wobbling the most is the one that gets the attention, right? And at some point, and I've given most of those plates I've given to very smart people. They make me look really good, right? Smart people. You put smart people around you and good things happen. But one of the things I had to do about 3-4 years ago was give up the clinical side of it. I still advise, I still talk, I still talk to my director of operations and clinical operations, but I can't see. I tried doing both. I tried being the CEO and a therapist to help out. I wasn't doing a good job as a CEO. I wasn't doing a good job as a therapist. So, it's like, and the thing that God gave me at that time, because it was painful. I was like, I don't want to, God, I love this. Why do I have to give this up? And what I got was, you can see 55 kids. That's about the max that I feel you can comfortably do as a full-time therapist, speech therapist in the schools. And you can agree or disagree. It doesn't matter to me. But that I could see 55 kids, or I could, last year, we served 2,700 kids, So I just go, I'm not that person that's right there in that room at that moment, but I am making sure that that person in that room with them is a person that is going to impact their lives 2,700 times, almost 12,000 times since we started, so you just pick,
You've
and
multiplied your impact.
yeah,
That's a powerful
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, it is. And you have to recognize that too, and I'm sure you do as a superintendent, I'm sure you do, but it's about leading people in a way where they feel empowered and loved and supported and taken care of so that they can be the best that they can be. And that's what we do here. And I'm 100% sure that's what you guys do. So yeah, good for you. All right. Jeff, where do people go if they want to learn more about Fergus Falls ISD? Oh, public schools. I apologize.
Yeah. So
Ferguson.
people can reach out to our website. You can just Google it, Fergus Falls Public Schools, and it'll take you right there. If you're ever passing through the lovely state of Minnesota, we are about 70 miles south and a little bit east of Fargo, North Dakota. And
Oh,
so think
wow.
of us in the winter.
Yeah, it's
We
cold.
have a good, it's cold, and typically windy. We're kind of on the edge of the prairie.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful small town community where people still know and care about each other, and
Mm-hmm.
we embrace our kids where they're at every day when they walk through the doors, and do our best to have an impact on them that allows them to reach their full potential.
Man, that's beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where Lighthouse actually is going to be up there in October. Not there, but the convention, the MACE convention at Brainerd. Will be in Brainerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there the last one and had such a great time, and just amazing. There are some really amazing people in Minnesota, and we had such a good time. And it just is a state that I just absolutely love. And actually, my first hire, Shelley Kaufman, is our regional director of clinical services now. She's one of our regional people. She lives in Minnesota, and she was my first occupational therapist. I was the SLP. And I told her I was going out on my own, and she said, "Okay, Jana, I don't care how many kids you have for me. I don't care when. I want to work with you." And I was like, "Okay." So she was my very first hire, and now she's
I love that.
our regional person. Yeah, and she does. She's amazing. And the funny thing is I've known her for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. I met her. We were in the same space at that convention this year for the very first time. So there you go. It's like that's the beauty of technology, is that you can have these conversations. I can meet amazing people on Brighter together and get the stories out there just like yours. So grateful. Pretty neat. Well, Jeff, it's been a pleasure. One last question. I got to ask that question. So I usually ask a question of all of my guests, and I think it's a good question for you. So, and you can't say money because we all need more money. We know that schools are underfunded, and I've had conversations about that. But if you could miraculously change one thing in your world as a superintendent, that it was taken care of and you never had to worry about it again, what would it be?
Right, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to step outside maybe what we have control over as a school district, but
It's all right.
what I really, really would love to see is every child in a loving home where their basic needs are being met, and a belief in the child and a belief in the power of education, because I really do believe, this may sound cliche, I really do believe, Janet, that education changes people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
I had a
1000%.
teacher many, many years ago that said, Jeff, just remember, your education is one of the few things in life that can never be taken away from you. And and this teacher was wonderful. Her name is Dee Steele. She lives in Colorado. Great mentor for me throughout life. And then my parents just instilled the value of an education to me too. So
Yeah.
things just resonate deeply in my heart.
Yeah, that's a great answer. It's a great answer because they have to be well fed and they have to be clothed and ready. All of those needs have to be met for them to be able to learn. So yeah, and to love. Yeah, you teach a child how to learn, and then it's a gift you've given them for the rest of their lives. for the
Yeah.
rest of their lives, for sure. So, well, Jeff, it has truly been a pleasure to speak with you today. I love what you guys are doing, and keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Janet. It has been my pleasure.